let's go. Tokani twende bwana, twende. Wakutana vile asubuhi mapema.
Should Kenya prepare themselves for their own version of world war in parliament?
Order, members standing around Honorable Junet. Honorable Junet, thank you.
It is going to be messy, it is going to be noisy, and it's going to have casualties. I promise.
At the latest twist in the never-ending drama between AZIMIO and Kenya Kwanza government is brewing into what could be an all-out war just hours after Speaker Moses Wetangula flatly ignored the court ruling, declaring AZIMIO the majority party in parliament. Opposition MPs have drawn their swords, vowing to take the fight straight to him and the executive.
It is going to be messy, it is going to be noisy, and it's going to have casualties. I promise you. It is going to have casualties, I can promise you.
We know the first casualty.
Yeah, and we can see it is getting smelly already.
And us, AZIMIO, as we had indicated, this is not the end. We have withdrawn our members from the House Business Committee.
Let us respect court orders. Court orders are not supposed to be debated and a question put in the House on court orders.
Junet Mohammed, who has warned that AZIMIO lawmakers will disrupt parliamentary proceedings with the fury of jilted lava, they urge that they have been sidelined in a government that, at least on a paper, was to be broad-based, an easy union between Raila Odinga AZIMIO coalition and President RUTO Kenya Kwanza brigade.
Court rulings must be respected. Mr. Speaker, you know very well when there was the ruling on the wild goose chase, hot air and the rest, it was respected. But coming to the majority party or position, Mr. Speaker, as I stand, you can see that I am and we are broadly competent and broadly majority. Even from the physical outlook, I'm the majority. I want to say, Mr. Speaker, that this matter should be put. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority is not judged by body morphology.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, was intentional, but even the brain is majority. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that even the level that we have reached as a country, Honorable Junet Mohammed has navigated the river Niles and made sure that we are fully represented and there is peace. So this issue of
But if AZIMIO MPs feel betrayed, they are not just sulking the corner. They are ready to burn the house down. Some of these grieved MPs are now flirting with the idea of teaming up with none other than former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Yes, the same Gachagua who has often been at odds with Ruto's inner circle. In one video, they are seen threatening to visit Waminyoro village, Gachagua's home.
Let's go. Tokani twende bwana, twende. Wakutana vile asubuhi mapema.
I want to indicate that as AZIMIO, we very respectfully disagree. I will not go to the substance, but we very respectfully disagree with your communication. And Mr. Speaker, I want to say again a philosophy in my local community that says, "Ngamatek konyono kwesimeru." When a strong man steps on your mother's pipe, you tell your mother to remove her pipe. That philosophy acted when my mother, in the generation of my mother. In my generation, if angamatek onyono kwesimeru, you point at the eyes. You point at the eyes of Ngamatek, respectfully. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that today, you are Ngamatek. Ngamatek is the strong man. You are stepping on my mother's toe. But I will respectfully tell you, Mr. Speaker, that I don't agree with you as a strong man, that you are stepping on my mother's toe. And as AZIMIO, we are going to take further action until you stop stepping on my mother's pipe. And I respectfully, Mr. Speaker, note your communication.
Could this be the ultimate act of political vengeance? Let's talk about the states. If AZIMIO carries through with these threats and pushes back in courts, successfully appeal could spell major trouble for the Kenya Kwanza government. And if that ruling swings AZIMIO's way, RUTO's administration may find itself staring down the barrel of impeachment proceedings and an existential nightmares that they could rather avoid. The real explosion could come if Raila Odinga fails to secure African Union Commission chairmanship this Friday. And if that happens, AZIMIO MPs who have so far exercised some restraints out of respect for RUTO's endorsement of Raila's bid will have zero incentives to play nice. Their revenge tour could shift into overdrive, making life for RUTO's administrations a political hell spill. So should Kenyans brace for impact?
Tumerudi sasa square one.
Square one sasa. Square zero. 2022.
But let me tell you something. It is going to be messy, it is going to be noisy, and it is going to have casualties. It is going to have casualties, I can promise you. Yeah, and we can see it is getting smelly. Already. From the way Parliament is being handled, it is getting smelly. We don't feel any broad-based arrangement in Parliament. No, there is nothing. Broad-based is in the executive only. Parliament has no broad-based mechanism. We are not there. So, my fellow, with the permission of my fellow colleagues, I have told you, going forward, it's not going to be business as usual.
Correct.
And we have withdrawn our members from the House Business Committee.
Yes.
I am sure they have just said, as many of that opinion, we will whip them if they put them there. Yes. They will have their own House Business Committee, their own.
Yes.
Which will also challenge in court, in public, in private, everywhere.
So for the Speaker, and that what Parliament does cannot be questioned. That is not correct. Otherwise, we would as well bury the concept of separation of powers, which operates under a system of checks and balances.
It's a creation of the Constitution.
Yes, Parliament is a creation of the Constitution, and so we must follow the Constitution. If we go against the Constitution, the courts have to put us back in line, whether we agree with the court or not. As AZIMIO, we have disagreed with the court many times before, but we have respectfully agreed. Disobeyed.
Including the Supreme Court.
Exactly.
The presidential elections.
Including the ones who are calling us all there and all those. But we respectfully disagreed with them, but we have not disrespected them. But having said that,